Hero equipment levels are so crucial in your attacks. But what are the actual minimum levels you need? With 31 hero equipments in the game, you are probably wasting ores on the wrong equipment. Like me, I've wasted so many ores on the wrong equipment. So painful. And to show you how bad it can get, I will also reveal the total waste if you were to max everything. So you can see exactly why this video is a game changer for you. But let's start with the Barbarian Puppet. I hope this makes sense. Please don't waste ores on it. Next up is the Rage Vial. And for the Rage Vial, we need a minimum level of level 9. Because you get 780 health, plus 28.7 speed, and plus 140 damage. Which is more than enough to make it super effective at the lower town hall. But once you get to the higher levels, there are better options for the king. That's exactly where I wasted all my ores maxing it out, only to realize there are better ones at higher levels. Even now you can see that stopping at the minimum level of level 9 saves a huge amount of glowy ore. Moving on to the Earthquake Boots. This is where it can actually go two ways. First minimum level is level 9, because it will already break the walls at level 1, but I would still level it up to level 9. It's cheap and gives you a solid plus 24 damage with minimum ore investment. However, if you want to pair it with the Spiky Ball, it changes completely. And talking about the Spiky Ball, if you want to use this combo, the minimum level you will need is 21 for the Spiky Ball and level 18 for the Earthquake Boots. The main reason this works so well is because when you use your hero's ability, it opens walls and deals damage to all surrounding defenses, which means the Spiky Ball can wipe out a bunch of defenses at once. However, if you are just using the Spiky Ball for funneling, level 9 is good enough. It can take out 5 trash buildings to help with the funnel. By the way, for the cost saving list, I'm going with level 18 Earthquake Boots and level 21 Spiky Ball. But even skipping those last 6 levels saves a huge amount of starry ore. Giant Gauntlet. Anyway, this is an interesting piece of equipment for the king. For this one you need it at least level 18, where you get a 15-second ability duration, plus 35 damage per second, and 45% incoming damage reduction. When this came out, I went totally wrong. My first goal was to max the Giant Gauntlet. I wasted so many starry ores and there's no way to get them back. Honestly, I wish Clash of Clans would give a way to refunds where you can get at least 50% of the cost back. Anyway, I cannot change anything about the past. This one works really well with the Rage Vial, because the Giant Gauntlet gives high damage and the Rage Vial boosts it even more, meaning your king does an insane amount of damage. Next up is the Vampstache. Yes, it really makes me think of a moustache. The minimum level is level 9, because it gives you 160 heal per hit and 60% DPS. This piece of equipment really helps you if you want to funnel with your king, since it heals 160 heal per hit. However, I wouldn't invest my ores into this one, because as you get to the higher levels it becomes useless. You would be way better off spending ores on other equipments. Now we have the newest epic equipment for the king, the Snake Bracelet. This one is very bad. I would never use this one. It only helps a bit with funneling. I actually got really lucky here. I didn't have the ores at the time, so I couldn't max it. Turns out that saved me from wasting a lot of starry ores. But if you want to prepare yourself for a buff, which often happens when an epic equipment underperforms, you can upgrade it to a minimum level of level 12. That gives you 32 snakes, which is a lot for such a small investment. So I'm still gonna add it on the cost saving list, but you can see that the king's cost saving list already saves a huge amount of ores. But how much will this video save you in total? Well, the only way to find out is by moving on to the next hero. Moving on to the queen, we have the Archer Puppets. This one does exactly the same as the Barbarian Puppet. It's crazy to think how we used the 30-star bases with the Archer Puppet and the Barbarian Puppet. Anyway, please don't spend ores on this one. The Invisibility Vial is also one of the OG pieces of equipment for the queen. To use it effectively, you need at least a level 9, which means you get a good damage boost per shot, but more importantly 6 seconds of invisibility. The Invisibility Vial works really well in queen charges, since it gives your queen an extra life if she's locked onto by an Inferno. This one also pairs really well with the Frozen Arrow. Talking about the Frozen Arrow, it needs a minimum level of level 12 to get a solid slowdown duration of 40% and a 1.75 second slowdown duration. This is where I went completely wrong. I instantly upgraded it to level 21. I was too excited to max it right away, and it cost me so many ores. So please keep in mind, wait and see if it becomes good first, because in the beginning it's unclear. But this one works really well in queen chargers to keep your queen alive longer. However, if you're not a queen charger, there's no point investing in this equipment. That's literally the only use case. Pretty niche, I know.
This is the giant arrow. It's gonna be epic. And I always miss, just like I always miss the giant arrow to take down the air defenses.
This is one of my favorite pieces of equipment, but the level you need depends on your town hall and what you want to take out. If you only want to take out air sweepers, level 9 is your minimum level, because this already does enough damage to take them out. However, if you want to take out air defenses, it depends per town hall. Let's break it down. For Town Hall 9, your minimum level to destroy an air defense is level 9. For Town Hall 10 up to Town Hall 13, it's level 12. Town Hall 14 and Town Hall 15 is level 15. However, for Town Hall 16 and Town Hall 17, it's an absolute must-have to have it maxed at level 18. If you're an air attacker, this one is the perfect one for you to invest your ores into, and it has a really good synergy with the Healer Puppet. And speaking of the Healer Puppet, for this one a minimum level of level 15 is required, because at this level you unlock 3 healers. This one works really well for creating a funnel with your queen, whenever you are using an air army to take out air defenses with your giant arrow. So if you're an air attacker, I highly recommend getting this one to at least level 15. Right now the queen's total that is saved is lower than the king, but trust me, it's about to go up drastically. Next up is the action figure. This is one of the more recent epic equipments. It's a must to have it at level 15, because you get a level 6 giant. This way you get a solid giant level while also being efficient with ores, since those starry ores are so difficult to get. I mean, I experienced this myself when I wanted to level the Frozen Arrow to the max. It was so hard for me to obtain all those starry ores. Even nowadays, I still find it so hard. Anyway, this is very versatile. It can work for an air army to create a funnel, or in a ground army if you press the ability, so it can tank damage. And it has an incredible synergy with the magic mirror. But let's first talk about that minimum level. When this one is at level 1, you get 1 clone and 20 seconds of clone duration. But when you upgrade it to level 18, a second cloned Archie Queen is there, which is a must, and you unlock 25 seconds of clone duration. The minimum level is level 18 because you get 2 queens, and that's a huge advantage. But now let me talk about the synergy with the action figure and why it's incredible. With a minimum level of level 15 for the action figure, the giant from the action figure will give you the tanking. And meanwhile your furry queens can deal a lot of damage. And without taking damage, since everything is focused on the giants. So here's the queen's total cost save list, and like I said, the total cost list went up drastically, and you can already see why this video is such a game changer for you. Now we have the minion prints. Starting off with the Henchmen Puppet. One important note, when you upgrade it, you will not get more Henchmen Puppets. It will just level them up. Anyways, we need a minimum level of level 12 for the Henchmen Puppet, so we can get level 5 Henchmen Puppets and enough HP recovery. This one can come in clutch if your minion prince ever locks onto an Inferno tower, since it has the invisibility, but the henchmen can also tank damage, which could be crucial. Moving on, we have the Dark Orb. This one is an incredible equipment. In order to use it effectively, you need a minimum level of level 12. This way, with minimum investment, you already get 40% slowdown effect with a duration of 13 seconds. This helps you slow down a lot of key defenses, and it has a really good synergy with the Henchmen Puppet. And I was so happy when they released the Minion Prince, because all the equipment was common. It really helped me save ores. Noble Iron. Can we just move on? This one is so bad. If one of your friends ever uses it, kick them out of your clan. The Metal Pants has a minimum level of level 12, where you get an ability duration of 11 seconds. Incoming damage reduction of 54% and health recovery of 1900. This one can be really useful whenever you catch black air mines, because your minion prince won't die, and that can be crucial if you are doing a Lavaloon. Dark Crown. When I first saw the Dark Crown, I thought it was broken, but luckily it's actually terrible. That ended up saving me a huge amount of ores. The reason why it's so bad is when an Inferno locks on, there's no way to save it, and the attack speed doesn't make that big of a difference. But if you do want to prepare yourself for a buff, I would level it to level 13. This gives a speed increase from 5 to 6, which is already 50% of the Dark Crown's max. So for the Minion Prince, the cost save list isn't huge compared to the King and the Queen, but keep in mind there's only one epic equipment for him, and that's the reason why. Now it's time for the Warden. And starting with the Life Gem, when you level it up, you can take full advantage of the hit point increase. At level 9 it already gives you a solid 70%. However, from my perspective, there are way better pieces of equipment for the Warden, such as Eternal Tome. There was one buff and also nerf that happened. So what did it actually do? Well, the nerf was this. Earlier, if your troops left the aura of the Warden, the effect would keep going. But now when they leave, they only keep the effect for 1 second. As for the buff, they increased the duration of the Eternal Tome by 0.2 seconds at all levels. Anyway, the minimum level is level 18, because this is one of the strongest pieces for the Warden, and you can use it for literally any strategy aside from the Fireball strategy. Talking about the Fireball, the levels for the Fireball vary per Town Hall level. For Town Hall 11 it's level 15. For Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13 it's level 18. Town Hall 14 and 15 it's level 21. And Town Hall 16 and Town Hall 17 it's level 23. But why level 23 and not 24? Well, with level 23, if you use 2 earthquake spells, you can take out any defense aside from the Town Hall, Eagle and Monolith. However, to make it easier for you, I've also made a Fireball chart, so you can see exactly what you can take down and what not. Next up is the Rage Gem. And for this one you actually have 2 levels. The first minimum level is level 15, which gives a nice boost of plus 45% damage, plus 69 damage per second, and plus 19% attack speed. This can be great in armies like dragons or root riders. However, there's one exception. Whenever you use it with the Fireball, you need level 18, because you need to speed up the Fireball process, otherwise it might take too long. So for the cost save list, I will still pick the highest level 18, but keep in mind it might be level 15 for you. Moving on to the Healing Tome. When you level this, you can take full advantage of the healing per second and the ability duration. For this one you need it at level 18, because it gives you 150 healing per second and an ability duration of 20 seconds. This works really well with ground armies like Hybrid, Root Riders and Electro Titans. I would invest my ores into this one because it's very flexible and can be used with almost every hero equipment aside from the Fireball, but normally I would use it with Eternal Tome. Lavaloon Puppet. This equipment really reminds me of the Mashup Madness event, which was so nice. However, this one caused me so much pain. I saw all those YouTube videos saying it was broken, so I was like, let's upgrade it as fast as possible. Only to realize it had no synergy and I literally wasted all my ores. But hey, if you want to prepare for the future, you can level it to level 9 since it gives you 2 Lavaloons. Moving on to the new equipment, the Warden Torch. This one is really effective for skipping walls. Finally, all my walls are maxed out. Oh my gosh, the walls became even more useless. Anyway, the minimum level is level 15. Why level 15 though? At this point you have a solid ability duration of 16 seconds and it already gives you 6 incoming damage reduction, which is more than half of the max. This can work really well in strategies with ground armies like Yetis and Super Witches to completely ignore the walls. The walls are so freaking useless. I'm not gonna lie, this is where I actually learned from my Lavaloon Puppet mistake. I didn't instantly do a lot of upgrades this time. The total cost save list is actually pretty high when it comes to starry ores. So let's do it for the Royal Champion too, to see how much it would be in total. Now we're going to talk about the Royal Champion. Starting off with the Royal Gem, it has a minimum level of level 9. But you would only really use this at Town Hall 13 if you have no epics. Otherwise it just gets overshadowed by other Royal Champion equipment. Next up, the Seeking Shield. At level 1 it already has a shield damage of 1000. But when you upgrade it to the minimum level of level 15, it does 2250 shield damage, meaning you can take out a lot of defenses in one hit. The Seeking Shield has a great synergy with the Rocket Spear, because you can use the Rocket Spear on a corner and also use your Seeking Shield to take out some buildings first. This means the Rocket Spear can take out even more buildings.
This is the Rocket Spear! It's gonna be an epic moment! I'm still safe!
Anyways, it only needs a minimum level of level 9. But this is exactly where I made a mistake. I leveled this one all the way to level 21. And that's why I don't have enough ores left for other equipment that I need to level, like the Electro Boots. Because at this level you get 8 spears, which is more than enough for the Rocket Spear to be usable. This one can be really useful if you use your Royal Champion to snipe some defenses. But it's also really good for a Royal Champion charge. By the way, before I show you the entire cost list, I just want you to look at the Royal Champion list. What a huge amount of starry ores just from a few equipments. Haste Vial. When upgrading we mainly care about the ability duration. Having it at level 15 gives the perfect ability duration of 9.5 seconds with minimum investment. And you also get a 35.1% speed increase. This equipment is very flexible and can be used with almost any strategy to deal damage quickly. Next up, Hog Rider Puppets. It has a minimum level of level 12 with 8 Hog Riders at level 8. This is enough Hog Riders for dealing damage as well as tanking. This one also has a really good synergy with the Electro Boots, because when the Hogs tank damage, the RC can heal back up thanks to the Electro Boots. But I would not invest ores into this one, since it can be overshadowed by other equipment like Electro Boots. This is by far one of the best pieces of equipment. We will level it up to level 18. This way we get a solid aura damage and also enough self-healing per second. Which is quite painful for me, because I don't have the ores. Remember, I invest everything into the Rocket Spear, especially those starry ores. This can work really well in Royal Champion dives to clear all those skeletons along the way, while moving from defense to defense. But would I invest ores into it? Yes, 100%. Even you guys have said this is one of the best equipments for the Royal Champion. And from my point of view, it's one of the best pieces of equipment in the game right now. So this is the cost save list for the Royal Champion. A bit lower in starry ores since this one has 2 epics instead of 3. But we still save more glowy ores here than we did with the Warden. But now let's look at the total of how much you would actually save. We would save roughly 700,000 shiny ores, 50,000 glowy ores and 5,000 starry ores. Guys, I'm just completely surprised of how much you can save by using this method. So I recommend sharing this with your clanmates and friends, because this could be so helpful for them. Even if they don't watch this video, that's okay, but guys, I just truly want to help you out. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to check out this video right here.